Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to review two tinted sunscreens. And tinted sunscreens have become very popular those past few years in the beauty industry for several reasons. The reason number one is that using a tinted sunscreen can help us go through our beauty routine faster because it is a two-in-one, meaning that in one application you'll get your sunscreen protection and at the same time you will get to apply your foundation or your skin tint depending on the coverage of your tinted sunscreen. The benefit number two is the fact, obviously, like a skin tint or a foundation, it is supposed to instantly make our skin looks better, more even, and more polished. The benefit number three is the fact that the addition of the ingredient iron oxide in all tinted sunscreens gives extra sun protection. Iron oxide is also an ingredient that you can find in foundations. That is one of the ingredients that allows the foundation to have a color. So that is this ingredient that gives additional protection. We often talk about UVA and UVB, and here the protection is against visible sunlight, which helps to fight hyperpigmentation, whether it is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation that you often get after you get acne spots, or hyperpigmentation caused by melasma. If you listen to the beauty industry or dermatologist, these are the main benefits that we can get for using a tinted sunscreen instead of a regular sunscreen. In the past, I have already reviewed a tinted sunscreen by the brand Undefined Beauty. If it is a product that interests you, I will leave a link in this video, but today I am reviewing two new tinted sunscreen. The first one is from the brand Dr. Sam's Bunting, which is a British brand, and the second one is from the brand Transparent Lab, which is a Spanish brand. The Dr. Sam's brand has three sunscreens. I have already reviewed two of their sunscreens. One is a hybrid sunscreen, meaning that it contains mineral sun protection ingredients and also chemical sun protection ingredients. And the other one is a mineral sunscreen, meaning that it contains mineral sun protection ingredients. The tinted sunscreen is similar to a mineral sunscreen, so it contains mineral sunscreen protection with the addition of iron oxide, which also gives a color to the sunscreen. The brand has 4 colors for this tinted sunscreen, and looking at what they offer on their website, it was obvious for me that I could only hope to get a match with the last color, which is the color number 4. They don't give information on the color, on the undertones, so I made my choice based on the picture of the model. And when I was looking at the model, I was thinking that the color might be a little bit too light for me. But when I received the product, I actually thought that the color might be a little bit too dark for my everyday color. But since it is a type of product that I would use in the summer, it actually works because in the summer, my décolleté gets tan. So even when it comes to foundation, I need to darken my foundation a little bit. Beyond the fact that the color might be too light or too dark, I was worried about the undertone because I have a very warm undertone with a mix of gold and red undertone. When you look at the picture of the model, she seems to also have that mix, but she seems to have much more golden undertone than a red undertone. When I received the product, I could see that there was a mix of those undertones, but it was at a very light level. For my skin, the undertone leans more into cool, neutral than warm. So just looking at the product, I was a little bit worried of the final result on my skin. Let's do the application now. Just like for the untinted mineral foundation, Dr. Sams tells us that in order to get the full protection of SPF50, you need to use 6 pumps of this product on your face. I usually apply 2 pumps at a time, as you will see in the video. When you touch the product, the texture is similar to a thick, creamy foundation, and it is smooth. The sunscreen is easy to apply on the face. It is easy to spread on the face. And as you apply the product on your skin, you can also feel that the product is gripping on your skin. It feels a little bit sticky to the skin when you apply it. On the website, the brand promises us to get a glowy finish, but when you apply it, it looks more like a super glowy, super dewy finish. It does not feel that the product is gonna set, but in the end, the result is gonna be different, as you will see. And as you can see, as I apply this product with my hands, obviously it stains my hands a lot, and you will not see that on the video, but it also stains your product because obviously my hands are full of color, but I still have to hold the product on my hands, so it will stain your product. If you don't like that, it is difficult to avoid with a tinted sunscreen. It seems like it is a lot of product to apply, but that is actually the amount that is necessary for all sunscreens. So what I appreciate with this brand is that because there is a pump, they at least give you the exact amount that is needed for your face. When you're done applying the product, usually I wait for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, before I try to blend the product again on my skin. And then I have to wait around 10 minutes before I see the final result when the sunscreen is fully set on my skin. Here you can see the full result, and the first thing you may notice is that the color is not a good match for me. And actually when I was filming this video, I was filming in bright daylight, which may make the color looks better than it is. So I filmed myself again in my bathroom so you can see better that the color is not a good match for my skin. When it comes to the finish result, the finish on my skin is a mix of a satin dewy finish, but not too dewy, which is good for my oily skin. It's actually a natural finish on my skin type. That's actually a finish I could enjoy if the color was matching my skin tone. But the color is not natural on me at all, as you can tell by the footage. Now let's see what the brand promises with this product, and I'm going to tell you if I agree with those promises or not. So I'm looking at my notes. So the brand promises that this tinted sunscreen will give a skin perfecting finish, and I have to agree with that. Even when I look at my face up close, I can see that there is a kind of blurry effect which makes my skin texture smoother than it is supposed to be. So that is a good thing. They also promise to give you a next level hydration and a glowy finish. As you know, if you watch my channel, I don't have issue with hydration. So for me, the hydration was fine, but I don't know how it's gonna be if you have dry skin. And I agree, as I said earlier, with the glowy finish, which is not too glowy, which for my skin means that it gives me a natural glow. The second product is from the brand Transparent Lab. When you go on their website, they have one mineral sunscreen which is untinted, with the exact same packaging, and then they have 3 tinted versions. So Dr. Sam's had 4 colors to choose from, and here we only have 3. But when I looked at the website, I saw that there was one color which was destined for Black people. And again, they don't give much information on the color and on the undertones, but they have models on their website, and their models seems to have a similar skin tone as mine, maybe a little bit darker. The undertone of their models seems to lean towards a warm undertone with a lot of gold in it, when I have a warm undertone with a mix of gold and red. But that was the only choice I could make. And since I learned from my experience with a tinted sunscreen from the brand Dr. Sam's that the color on the website is not always accurate, I bought it anyway. When I received the product, I was surprised by the color because I thought it might be a little bit too dark, but this time I realized that the product is actually too light. But what surprised me the most in a wrong way, unfortunately, is the undertone, which is extremely cool. I don't see any golden or red undertone in this product, so I immediately knew that it would probably be less of a match than the Dr. Sam's tinted sunscreen. The texture of the product this time is quite liquid. It reminds me of the texture of any liquid foundation if you have ever used one, and when you touch it, it feels very, very slippery. This time there is no exact indication on how much you should apply on your face, so I did what is usually recommended. I applied 2 finger length of product on my face. And as it felt on my fingers, it felt the same on my skin, which means that it was very, very, very slippery, which is not surprising when you look at the ingredient list, because the first ingredients are coconut alkanes and dimethicone, which is a silicone, but coconut alkanes has a similar texture to silicones. Because of a slippery texture, it is super easy to apply on the face, and while applying the product, it looks dewy, but the finish will change over time. And because it feels so slippery on your fingers, it may feel like it will never set, but again, you have to give it some time before it can set. Let's see what this brand promises on their website regarding this product. On their website, they promise that the tinted sunscreens are lightly tinted and they would give second skin-like finish. I don't agree with that. I was expecting them to be lightly tinted. In my opinion, they give a regular tint for a tinted sunscreen, which means that if you don't have a good match, obviously it's not going to look like a second skin finish. The second promise is that the product should enhance our natural skin tone. But if you can't get a good match, it will do the opposite like it does for my skin. So unfortunately for me, it does not enhance my skin tone. Similar with the Dr. Sam's Bunting foundation, when I'm done applying the product, I wait a few minutes, maybe a couple of minutes, before I try to blend the product again for an even finish. And then I wait close to 10 minutes before I blend one last time to make sure everything is perfect. And when I do that around the 10 minutes, I can feel that the product has set on my skin. It does not look dewy anymore. Actually, the finish looks close to matte. The last promise on their website is that the finish should be a semi-matte powdery finish, and I agree with that finish. That's exactly how it feels on my skin, and that is a finish that I enjoy for my oily skin. Some matte finish can give drying feeling, and that is not the case for this product on my skin type. In the end, will I buy these products again? Obviously not. The reason number one is that it does not match my complexion, obviously, so there is no way for me to buy them again. Here I'm showing you a samples of the two tinted sunscreens close to my foundation that I like to use in the summertime, and you can see that my foundation is much warmer than the tinted sunscreens, which explain why it does not work for me. The second reason I will not buy them is the fact that buying a tinted sunscreen is supposed to make my life easier because I should gain more time, but those products take a lot of time to set, much more than me applying my sunscreen and then applying my foundation. So I don't gain time with these products. Last but not least, a sunscreen is supposed to be reapplied throughout the day, and I don't see how I could reapply these sunscreens because it is very messy. I don't see myself being outside and applying this product outside because I will stain maybe my clothes, maybe my bags. The packaging will be all stained as well. So if I apply this product properly, if I apply the right amount, if I reapply the product throughout the day in order to get the protection that is promoted on the packaging, then my daily life will be much more complicated than it is. So it is not worth it for me. I prefer to do what I usually do, my sunscreen and then my foundation. In the comment section, please let me know if you have ever tried a tinted sunscreen, and I would like to know if you enjoyed it or not, and tell us if you were able to use the sunscreen as you are supposed to use it, meaning using the right amount, reapplying the sunscreen throughout the day. With those two sunscreens, I can't do that. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.